Look at this chart. This is $3 trillion. If you map Apple's market value against the GDP of entire nations, it dwarfs most of the world. It is a scale of wealth so massive, it challenges our standard understanding of money. This dominance is built on a seamless ecosystem. Apple designs its hardware, the phones, computers, watches, and earbuds, to communicate without user intervention, making the transfer of data feel invisible. Yet, this empire was once on the verge of total collapse. Throughout the 1990s, Apple was bleeding cash and losing its grip on the market, standing just weeks away from absolute financial ruin. To reverse engineer a strategy that moved a company from the brink of insolvency to a $3 trillion valuation, we have to strip away the modern aluminum and glass. We need to go back to a quiet California street in 1976. Apple's modern success is the result of a decades-long survival strategy. They built a frictionless environment designed to keep users within a single, interconnected land. Inside a residential garage, Steve Jobs began with a specific goal. He wanted to remove the friction between human beings and complex machines. His partner, Steve Wozniak, was the engineer who translated that vision into physical circuitry. Their first product was the Apple I. It was a crude circuit board mounted on wood, but its purpose was to move the computer out of the industrial lab and turn it into a personal tool. In the 1980s, the Macintosh took this further. By introducing the mouse and a graphical interface, Apple allowed the public to navigate visually rather than typing rigid lines of code. These machines were the first to successfully lower the barrier to entry for computing. By making the interface predictable and visual, Apple taught the public to view digital spaces as tools they could control, rather than complex systems to be feared. But hardware alone couldn't save them. Internal power struggles and corporate friction eventually led to Jobs being forced out of his own company. Apple entered a period of decline. Without a clear direction, they released a string of confusing, disjointed products. By the mid-90s, the tech industry and the financial press openly declared that the game was over for the brand. In 1997, with the company facing total failure, Steve Jobs returned. That near collapse established a new priority. Jobs realized that selling isolated, disconnected machines was a losing business model. Jobs immediately simplified the company. He scrapped the bloated product line to focus on a few high-quality devices. He launched the iMac, which used a bold, translucent design to win back consumer attention and establish Apple's aesthetic identity. Then came the iPod. It gave users a reason to stay connected to Apple's ecosystem through iTunes software, even when they weren't at their computers. In 2007, Apple launched the iPhone. By combining a widescreen iPod, a mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communicator into one touch interface, they forced the entire industry to abandon physical keyboards in a matter of months. The iPad followed shortly after, filling the remaining gap between the smartphone and the laptop. This sequence of releases was a deliberate construction. Jobs was building an inescapable environment where every new device made your existing ones work better. This is the core of the modern Apple strategy. They no longer just sell consumer machines. They sell an entire digital environment. This is the walled garden. The system rewards buying more devices, but creates friction if you leave. Switch brands and group chats break. Accessories lose functionality. The doors snap shut. This lock-in effect creates rare customer loyalty, maintaining a $3 trillion valuation. Apple's true product is the friction-free experience. Once a user is accustomed to how perfectly these devices work together, the outside world feels less efficient by comparison. The journey to $3 trillion leads back to two friends and a wooden circuit board. They succeeded by transforming complex industrial technology into tools that felt personal and intuitive to use. A shift in how the world uses technology doesn't require a massive laboratory. It can begin with a single idea in an ordinary garage.